Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Coach's CatChat. Joe Stewart here with head track and field coach Travis Olson. Coach, how you doing today?
Great. How are you?
I'm great, and I know it's a busy week for you with the first home meet of the year coming up with the Erik Anderson Memorial Icebreaker. But I know it's been a busy couple months for you because track training it's not a one season deal, and obviously you guys just got through indoors. So tell us a little bit about what you guys have been up to with the preseason training and how the indoor season went for the track program.
Yeah, I mean it's been a crazy. I mean it's like a marathon with track and field because we get to start in September, as you know, with new NCAA 2A rules giving us a certain amount of days. We were getting out there mixing it up in September with coaches there a couple days a week, and so it's been really nice because it really has created a solid team atmosphere. They've really bonded, and I think it's really helped our fall training and kind of moved into the indoor season. I was really pleased with what we did in indoors, and we kind of use the indoors as a jump start to our outdoor season, and we kind of train through that. So I'm really pleased, and this has been a great group to work with so far, so I'm really excited about outdoor season.
All right, well, yeah, let's get into it first with the sprinters here. Obviously, on the women's side, you lost a great one with Mackenzie Fineglass graduating last year, but a couple runners behind her with Rachel Sillis and Hillary Connors. What are you kind of expecting out of the sprint side for the women's side of things?
Yeah, I think that was a kind of a big loss, right, as far as points with Mackenzie leaving and graduating, but I kind of remind myself that she kind of started where these kind of new people are beginning. So I think that if we can develop these young sprinters, then, good things can happen. With Rochelle and Hillary obviously returning, we also have Paige Casso, who is a solid sprinter, as well as Kira Hawabu. She's actually been our fastest person in the indoor season. So I'm really excited with what's to come from that group, but may take a little developing.
Yeah, Kira seems to be a name to watch, and we'll get more with her when we get to multis. But then on the men's side, you get a little more returning depth there with Dylan Jackson and Evan Fizzette, kind of the two big names on that side. Yeah. What are you expecting out of those two guys to kind of lead the way for that group?
Yeah, I'm expecting big things. I think that Dylan decided to come back. He was kind of going to be a graduate early guy. Decided to come back and finish out his 4 years, which was obviously music to my ears. He's obviously very talented, and I think that he's going to do some big things this year. Same goes with Evan. I think that Evan is going to be a solid – he's put in more work compared to last year. He kind of came to us a little bit later. So he's put in more work up to this point, so I expect that will lead to some really good results.
Yeah, and a pretty electric season for him on the gridiron earlier this fall.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's just carried that over. We have a lot of young sprinters beyond those two, so another group that we can develop. So I'm excited to see what happens.
So with that too, and especially as you got a young group, are relay spots a little more up for grabs this year? Do you have a set idea, or is this going to be something that you guys kind of figure out these first couple outdoor meets of the season?
It's kind of funny because, traditional team sports have a hard time with playing time and that kind of stuff.
Roster,
where we do have a lot more sprinters with the group this year. So, it's not always the fastest four that make those relay spots. We gotta look at other things, intangibles, that how well they pass and receive the baton, and how well they are under pressure, that kind of stuff. So we're gonna run a couple 4x1 relays early season, just to kind of see where everybody's at. We're running some hundreds with everybody, of course, to kind of see where their top speed is, and then the same goes with the 4x4s as well. So we'll just kind of, everything will work itself out by the end for sure.
Sure. So yeah, on that distance side, decent depth there coming in this year. We saw a lot of improvement for the cross country team in the fall. Starting on the women's side, obviously your workhorse there is Jenny Torres Bermudez once again, but then some really intriguing freshmen. Tell us about that group.
Yeah, Jenny's going to be the leader of that group, of course. I think that Jaden Taylor is going to be a good one to look out for, either in the 1500 steeplechase maybe. Sania Ayala is going to be another good one to kind of look out for in the 10K. We'll see how they develop. I mean, I'm excited. They again have been working hard, so we'll see what happens.
And then on the men's side, Alex Outhout and Calvin Cahill, obviously two anchors there. And then, of course, you return Bradley Kiltow for the steeplechase as well, holding it down there. What do you like from that group?
Yeah, they've been killing it in workouts. So that's a veteran group. and there's no doubt about it. They've proven themselves. So I think that they mean business this year, and they're expecting some big things from themselves. And I expect things will prove that, throughout the season. We can't forget about Connor Dooley and Devin Harrison. I think that Devin is kind of a wild card. He's kind of coming into his own as a distance runner. He kind of figured some stuff out in cross country, and so I'm kind of curious to see what happens with him. And Connor's, I think, ready for a breakout season,
okay.
and in the 800. And Bradley's, I think, is going to have a good season in the steeple for sure.
Talking hurdles, obviously smaller group there,
Mm-hmm.
as you often have. Javon Cloy made big strides last season for the men's, and then Jordan Roberts came in and made immediate impact as a freshman. Two kind of younger athletes when you think of their overall competition history. But what do you look out of those two specifically, and then who else are you developing on the hurdle side?
Yeah, they're different kind of backgrounds in a sense, where Jordan is coming off of basketball. So we have to keep that in mind and be careful with her. And Javon has had a really good fall. He came in stronger. Last year, I think the hurdles kind of beat him up. He's kind of beaten up the hurdles
Sure.
now. So he's able to work through those things a lot better. So I'm really expecting some solid thing. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better kid as far as just work ethic, attitude. He does a really good job out there. So as a sophomore, we look to him as a leader one of our leaders of our team. So I think he'll be on the podium. I think that's his expectation, and maybe compete for a conference title. We'll see. And then Jordan, I think, is going to be someone that's just going to, she's kind of coming off getting banged up
Sure.
from basketball. So we'll see how she handles the workouts, and we'll kind of ease her into things. And so mid to late season is when she'll probably start coming on strong.
And right along with that, of course, is her twin sister, Logan, as we move into the jumpers. I mean, she really broke onto the scene in a big way, second in the conference championships last year in the high jump, and just really seemed to help stabilize that jumping depth overall across multiple events. Did have the basketball injury that ended her season early there. Where are you liking her kind of as she comes back into the fold and trying to get active again?
Yeah, I mean, again, she's been injured. She's coming off. I've been obviously talking to her, and I think she's moving right along as far as getting healthy. But she kind of feels good about things right now. So I don't expect anything less than just kind of picking up where we left off last year, and hopefully we'll make a run at making nationals this year.
And then Sierra Crawford, another one too, that moving from the heptathlon to focusing more just on the jumping, going into her senior year. What do you expect out of her?
Yeah, I think I've been really proud of what she's done so far this fall in indoor season. She's the pole vault's a really tough event mentally on those that can compete in it, and so it's something that she's really worked on a lot, and she's gotten a lot better with that stuff. So she's, we saw a lot of no heights maybe last year, where this year we're not seeing that as much. So I think that she's well on her way to, being a conference champ. I mean, she could be. I mean, at least a podium. And if everything goes right, she could make a run at nationals. She really could. She has the ability to do that. And so we'll see. We'll see.
On the men's side, Andrew Troe kind of burst onto the scene, another young athlete that really made an impact last year. What do you like out of him? Do you expect improvements or more just, kind of hard to improve on where he began right out of the gate there. So where's his evolution right now?
Yeah, it's a tough thing. Everybody's different in how they handle workouts. And right now, Andrew's, struggling with some health stuff in his knees, and you need your knees to jump. So, and do track and field in general. But if we can keep him healthy, he's going to be on the podium, I think, as well. So we're just kind of managing that right now, and we'll just kind of see how it goes. But he definitely has the ability to do some great things.
Any other jumpers on the men's side? Seems kind of open behind Andrew.
Yeah, not really on the high jump. We have some guys that we're developing in the long and triple jump. So we'll just kind of see how they develop throughout the season. But they're working hard. I really do think they can do some stuff. Just depends on how they pick things up and so on. So
some really solid guys on the men's throwing side of things. Obviously, Jacob Slifka reclaimed his javelin, or rather discus title last year, and Nick Olson, who made a big impact as well, taking a second place at conference there. Those guys are there who expect to lead the way throwing once again.
Yeah, I mean, they're the favorites. Obviously, Jacob would be a favorite coming back as conference champ, made it to nationals, just missed the finals, making the finals at nationals. And Nick is someone that he's been ready. He's ready to have a breakout season. He is the favorite as far as those coming back from around the conference. He's the favorite coming in to win the conference title. So, and he's trying. I mean, he's shown in practice he can really throw far and kind of make those national type marks. So we'll see if he can continue that and put it together when it counts.
Women's side, not a lot of depth there last year on the throwing side. Are you starting to develop that a little bit more?
Yeah, we definitely have some developmental kids that I think can do some things. We have some good javelin throwers. Kirianne Matson, I think, is going to be a good javelin throw for us. Ebony Zenner is going to be a good javelin throw for us, I think. Got to keep them healthy. It's really a battle at times when you're trying to compete at a high level when it's freezing outside. But they're working hard and good attitudes, and that's a big part of the process. We have some good young Margarita Benuelos, who has also played volleyball. But I think that there's some stuff there for her that we can work with, and Megan Johnson, our throws coach, is doing a great job with that group.
Sure. And then multis, which has kind of been a little bit of a strength the last few years for you guys. But obviously on the men's side, going to be starting fresh with a freshman there, Durham Houston. But on the women's side, we mentioned her a couple times, Kira Hawabu, another player that came in for volleyball but is really starting to take off in track. What are you liking out of her, and what's making her stand out so much?
Well, she just has some good natural ability, and she's picking up stuff pretty quickly. I mean, for example, our last indoor meet, she'd probably be like, we have some indoor top 10 lists, and she'd be on it right now. She'd be on our outdoor top 10 list in the long jump. She's picking up the hurdles. She reminds me, it makes me pause a little bit because she reminds me a little bit of how Keaton Wood started, because Keaton really didn't do track and field in high school, and Kira never done track and field, never.
Oh, wow.
So she's really, I've kind of made sure we're bringing her along at the right pace, not doing too much, realizing that she's just learning. She's our fastest person right now. She's picking up the hurdles really well. She's over a 5-foot high jumper. She's throwing the javelin really well. She's going to be really good. She's long jumping 17 feet. I mean, she's someone, like, I've told her this, that she could be someone that could even make nationals this year in the heptathlon. I was thinking originally that it would be a kind of development to next year, but she has the ability to make it there this year. If everything goes right, if we put it together and we stay healthy, then she could do some great things for sure. And then Durham Houston is also someone that has some good talent. When I look for decathletes, most of the time you get more points from the sprinting events compared to like the throwing events. So if someone's a good thrower but they're kind of fast, they're not going to make as good of a decathlete as if you're fast
and an okay thrower.
So Durham's fast, and he threw the javelin really well in high school. So I threw it out to him, and he was like, let's go for it. And he's picking up stuff pretty well. So we'll just kind of see how that develops. It's a pretty good conference for the decathlon this year. So we'll get him qualified. We're actually going to go down up to Whitworth right before spring break, and instead of the Pacific meet later. So got to get a mark there. As a freshman, they have to get a mark in order to qualify for conference, and then we'll see how they do at conference.
So coming up this weekend, Erik Anderson Memorial Icebreaker. Always an exciting time. I'm sure everybody's ready to be able to have a meet at home. What are you looking for out of your team with this first full run for everybody? Yeah,
I just I talked to the team the other day, and I go, look, it's called the Icebreaker. It's gonna be cold. The weather's not gonna be great. All I expect is you give your best effort and compete. It's a good time of the year to kind of plant the seed with the other people that are going to be there from our conference, to say, look, I'm going to give my best effort every time that I toe the line or my name is called. And so they will have that in their mind and know that Linfield comes to compete every meet that we go to. So that's all I expect, and if they can do that, then I'll be pleased.
Erik Anderson Memorial Icebreaker this weekend right here in McMinnville at Maxwell Field. Wildcats will be hosting quite a large swath of schools here in McMinnville, so it's sure to be an exciting time. We sure hope you come down and cheer on the Cats in person. Coach, thanks for the time.
Appreciate it.
Good luck this season.
Thank you.